Hello everyone, first news update for 9th of March, Sunday. I hope you have a wonderful, great weekend. Now it's 10 past 9 in the morning Moscow time, and I have prepared quite a number of news that hopefully you will find interesting. As I did yesterday, I will make some short videos from this show, and I will publish those short videos on YouTube and Rumble channels. And I really hope this change will help this project to survive. Since this change began, 3 new members join our community on Patreon, no new members on the Boost team, but hopefully more and more people from our bigger community will decide to support my work and this project and will join us on Patreon or Boosty, and I will be able to continue this work. Anyways, thank you all for your attention and support, and let's go through some news. And first of all, obviously I have to start with the Kursk salient area, where yesterday major offensive operation has started by Russian forces. In the afternoon yesterday, Russian media reported about statements of Abdi Alaudinov, head of Akhmat Special Forces, Major General, who announced this, I will say, final push. This is my interpretation. Final push to clear Kursk salient area from invading forces and basically to shut down this trap that did work quite well for Russian armed forces, trap that was created by Kiev regime itself for its own troops. It was a disaster of their own making. So Alaudinov announced a large-scale offensive of the Russian armed forces in the Kursk region, reported RIA Novosti. Let's go through some details. Russian troops have launched a large-scale offensive in the Kursk region in all directions, said the commander of their special forces, Akhmat, deputy head of the main military political department of the Ministry of Defense, Major General Abdi Alaudinov, in the Telegram channel. And then, quote, our Russian soldiers from all units decided to make a gift to our women of Russia in all directions of their Kursk sector of the front. All units launched a large-scale offensive. The enemy abandons their positions and leaves their strongholds. Our guys are moving forward very well, and Alaudinov, I will clarify here, Alaudinov said that this was a gift for women because yesterday, of course, was International Day of Women, 8th of March, and I don't know about other countries worldwide, but here in Russia, this is a quite big celebration. Additional reason to be extremely nice to the best half of the humanity. That's how I will say. And I think every day is a day of women's, but 8th March is a special day. Anyways, so that's why Abdi Alaudinov did mention that this was a gift from Russian troops to women, because this offensive started on 8th of March. According to Alaudinov, the units of the group of forces north revived each direction. We will beat the enemy and make them regret coming to our native land, said the commander of the special forces. And already yesterday, by the way, Russian Defense Ministry confirmed the liberation of number of settlements in the Kursk salient area. Although being quite conservative institution, Russian Defense Ministry did not confirm the full progress of the Russian armed forces. Probably this additional information comes today, maybe tomorrow. So tens of thousands of AFU, armed forces of Ukraine fighters, are facing encirclement in the Kursk region after the transfer of intelligence from the United States is stopped, according to Telegraph. Okay, RIA Novosti reported an article that was published in Telegraph, and Telegraph thinks, I believe they said there are 10 10,000, not tens of thousands, but 10,000. It's a mistake of translation, mechanical translation here. 10,000 Ukrainian servicemen were under the threat of encirclement in the Kursk region after Russia broke through the front line and advanced to key supply lines from two directions. Publication said, according to newspaper, the Russian army actually cut the enemy group in two and achieved fire control over the only route available to provide logistics for this invading grouping of forces of the Kiev regime and NATO mercenaries in the Kursk salient area. This is true, by the way. All the supply and support lines are under Russian control, of course. And as I've said, the Defense Ministry confirmed the certain progress of the Russian armed forces. And for example, we have this report that the armed forces of the Russian Federation took control over the villages of Viktorovka, Nikolaevka, and Staraya Sorochina in the Kursk region. I reported earlier about this progress of the Russian troops, but Defense Ministry took more time and only yesterday afternoon confirmed this progress. But since then, situation is rapidly developing on a line of contact. Reports are coming in that Russian armed forces established control over the Kasitsa settlement on the northern part of salient, northern eastern part of salient. Also, reports are coming in that Russian troops are established control over the Cherkasskaya Porechная settlement. Russian troops further advancing in direction of Malaya Lokhnya settlement. Some Telegram channels even reported that Kiev regime's forces actually ran away from Malaya Lokhnya. We need some more time to have a better, clear picture on development in Malaya Lokhnya area. Also, some surprising news, by the way, that according to some sources, Russian troops actually managed even to enter Kubatkin's settlement, which is on outskirts of Suja on the northern side. This information came as a surprise even for military experts, because just look at the map, by the way. How Russian troops end up in this area, I don't know, but reports are that the settlement actually is under Russian control. If Russian troops somehow manage to cross into these areas, territories, bypass some strongholds of the Kiev regime and enter the settlement and then use a surprise effect to establish control over the settlement, well, members of those units probably will receive some serious greetings, by the way. Also, reports are coming in about progress of the Russian armed forces in Martinovka. According to reports, Martinovka is also under Russian control now. And most importantly, yesterday, initially rumors start circulating that was published by Kiev regime's propaganda, and then other sources also start reporting that Russian troops used their gas pipeline to move underground about 100 stormtroopers and to enter Suja. So Russian troops, according to report, entered their pipeline in on outskirts of Mikhailovka settlement, move more than 10 kilometers, according to some reports, and come out of this pipe in a central part of Suja, practically central part of the Suja on eastern side of the city. And reports are that Russian troops are, while using this surprise effect, did manage to establish control over the significant parts in this area. Even if you remember, even Peterechka, a supermarket that was looted by Kiev regime's forces, and you remember there was making some TikTok videos and stuff in that store. That store, according to reports, were recaptured by Russian troops, and right now it's a fog of war. It's difficult to understand what is happening inside the Suja itself, which is the biggest settlement that Kiev regime's troops and NATO mercenaries managed to occupy during their invasion of this borderline area of the Kursk region. Excuse me. Definitely more time is needed to have a better understanding of developments inside the Suja, but today, this morning, I saw videos that was published by fighters, Russian fighters that are actually entered the Suja through this gas pipeline. So I guess they are continuing their operations, and they feel free actually to publish videos on or to share videos about their operations with their comrades, and eventually these videos end up on Telegram. So quite interesting developments. I guess we are observing final stage of the Kursk trap existence. Russian troops clearly are serious about shutting down this trap. Once again, trap that was made by Kyiv regime itself for its own troops, right? And this trap was extremely effective, I will say, because according to Russian Defense Ministry's report, since the beginning of invasion, Kyiv regime's forces and NATO mercenaries lost more than 65,000 troops killed and wounded in the Kursk salient area. This number is significantly higher now, because even Ukrainian channels are reporting that just yesterday Kyiv regime lost about 1,000 troops. So 65 plus 1,000 troops were neutralized by Russian forces in this area, invading troops. Also, Kyiv regime lost hundreds of tanks, hundreds of infantry fighting vehicles, hundreds of armored personnel carriers, hundreds of artillery pieces, and thousands of other military equipment. One may argue that best and most battle-capable brigades of the Kyiv regime that it had in reserves, that were trained and armed by NATO, mainly for this purpose exactly, to attack Kursk region of the Russian Federation, was destroyed. Entire that grouping of forces of 10-15 brigades were actually annihilated by Russian troops, and now only remnants of those brigades are still operating in this area or in the Sumy region. I cannot tell you how longer this operation to shut down completely Kursk salient will last. It might take a few days, maybe a week or two, but it is clear based on reports that well, my prediction was correct that I made a couple of weeks ago, and well, Russian troops actually finalizing their operations and pushing to liberate entire this salient. Major developments, obviously, major developments, and I just mentioned Ukrainian sources, dear friends, and let me share with you this report that I published on my Telegram and Twitter X. So Ukrainian channel Resident UA, for example, is writes, and this is quote, our sources in the General Staff reports that Ukrainian forces in the Kursk region are being destroyed as some of their best units attempt to retreat without orders, only to end up in a kill zone. Once again, Syrskyi, and Syrskyi is of course head of General Staff of Kyiv regime, Syrskyi failed to issue a timely withdrawal order despite the requests from the field commanders, and their worsening tactical encirclement. Supply routes have been under their fire for a week, and bridges have been destroyed. Today alone, nearly 1,000 troops have been lost, along with their hundreds of pieces of equipment. The battle in Kursk is turning into a meat grinder, and this is a Ukrainian propaganda channel, by the way, Resident UA, right? So if they are writing this, then the situation for Kyiv regime's forces in Kursk salient area must be 10 times worse and 10 times more dramatic. And for example, videos are circulating, and I did share this video also on my Telegram, of destruction of, for example, one of the columns of the Kyiv regime's forces that was trying to escape from Suja district. Russian troops first destroyed bridges around Suja, and in this video you can see, dear friends, it's bridge here which is destroyed, and column had to stop. You can clearly see a destroyed bridge, isn't it? and column had to stop, and then Russian artillery and drones basically finished this column off. Entire column was destroyed, by the way, and there are many such instances. And today, tomorrow, probably more and more videos of this kind will emerge from Kursk salient areas. So some very significant developments, major disaster for Kyiv regime and Kyiv regime's forces. And yet again, I guess it's only a matter of short time now. Short time, and Russian troops will finally shut down Kursk salient area and finalize clearing operation. According to Russian sources, Kyiv regime might have about 6,000 to 7,000 troops trapped in Kursk salient at this point. According to Western sources, for example, as I already said, Telegraph is reporting about 10,000 grouping of forces of Kyiv regime, but whatever the number is, they are in a trap, and it is highly unlikely that many of them or majority of them will manage to escape. Most likely majority of them will find their last stand in that Kursk salient area. Hello everyone, if you find this video interesting and useful, please click that like button, leave some commentary and share with your friends. If you like my work and want to support this project, you can do it through several means. All the links are on this video in the description box and in the pinned comment, including links to my Patreon and Boosty pages, where you can have access to full shows in case you are interested. Thank you.